so good.
Oh, okay.
Wow, thank you so much.
Hi, YouTube.
Wait, this is all recorded?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Good.
Hi guys. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a dating Q&A, or wait, that's not a good round table.
Rectangle
I'm sorry. Wait.
Focus group?
Fireside chat.
Fireside chat.
Yes, fireside
Someone
chat.
pull up that Netflix video with fire and you just stick it right there in the corner.
I was like,
The video would get flagged.
Okay, we're back. Hi YouTube. Today we're gonna be talking about dating and love life in college as a fireside chat.
Hi everyone, M's channel.
Restart.
Hi everyone, my name's Avanti. I've been in a relationship for 3 years now, and the individual would like to remain anonymous, so I'm gonna call him Sanjana Bhaskar.
Oh, this isn't going to confuse them at all.
Hi, my name is M. I have been in a 1.5, almost 2 year long distance relationship, and then a lot of small side things.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, well,
Hi, I'm Sanj. I'm the resident nun on this table. I'm 0 for 0 on all relationships. I tend to score men in general. So, sup.
So let's start with the first question. What is dating like in college?
Yeah, the first person who ever asked me out, I just panicked and said yes, and here we are, so.
3 years later.
3 years later.
Dating in college for me has been a roller coaster, to say the least.
I have lived with Emily for 4 years now, and I have seen every painful detail of her love life. Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna be watching this video and being like, fuck, I hope I'm not being mentioned.
At them.
Hashtag at them. But dating in college is also nice because it sounds bad, but you have a lot of options because there's so many people your age and people that you can get to know, and there's a lot of spaces to find those people, so it's good in those aspects, but it sucks ass most of the time. So a follow-up question to that, what is dating like with friends versus people that you meet online?
SB, the person I'm dating, is, we were pretty good friends first for like a few weeks. Emily actually introduced us.
I did.
But I think that definitely really helped just because generally I'm a pretty uncomfortable person, so. But it was good that we like felt comfortable enough around each other before we actually started like dating. So I think for me that was the move because like I said, I'm pretty uncomfortable, so I feel like I'd have to know someone before I start dating them.
Yeah, I think like the most serious relationships I've had in college have been with people I was friends with previously. With people online, it's just kind of weird because like you like find them on Tinder and like you go on one date and it's like, oh yikes, and you just like get out.
My aunt and uncle actually met on Coffee Meets Bagel, and they like just randomly met up because she was in San Diego for an internship after med school and he was working, and they like are married now. So I guess it like it does happen. It is nice online dating because it's just so much less pressure almost, in that like you don't stand to lose much. Like you can literally in the middle of anything just be like, yeah, I'm not feeling this, and like dip out with little to no consequences, which I really enjoy situations in which there are little to no consequences. But you're right, like I don't know how many long-term relationships are built on the foundation of we can cut ties at a moment's notice. But yeah, so that's some of like my quote-unquote experience.
I feel like it's harder to really connect with someone when you meet them online because you just literally don't know anything about them, you know, whereas if it's your friend, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen you run on campus, or like I've known about you for a while, and you have like that background, whereas on the internet it's kind of like square one.
And you can be catfish, right? Like we were talking about how we wanted to catfish one of Emily's guys.
Give me your data. A follow-up to that follow-up. What happens when people date and break up within friend groups?
Part of the reason why I'm on this panel is because I have witnessed and unfortunately counseled many of my friends through every single possible relationship woe. So this is like a phrase I like to use often, the best coaches don't play. That's me. And my dear friends are all choose a football team, the Atlanta Falcons. I was also described by a friend of mine as that meme where it's like, yeah, sex is great, but have you ever just read a really good book? It'd be like that. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that I have actually seen friends of mine date and then break up and like it turn into something messy. It's usually like almost like being drafted for a football, like flag football team. People like tend to find their sides to support, and then it is like really destructive, honestly, because if two friends are breaking up, chances are like a lot have to go down, and also there aren't often like really healthy splits between friends. Like I said, there are consequences to those relationships because there's so much shared history. It's kind of unfortunate, but
hate to see it,
but it happens.
Yeah, so I actually had a breakup within a friend group pretty recently, and it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was, mostly because the friend group was like very long distance in the first place, just because of how we met. So, but even though me and the person I broke up with didn't necessarily have like a flag football team drafting, our friends naturally started gravitating towards like one person or the other. When we first broke up, it was weird for everyone involved, but as time grew on, we kind of like settled back into the groove of things, and even though me and the person weren't friends anymore, we still all kind of functioned the way we used to do. I just like would limit my interactions with that person. Just don't date your friends, basically.
Or date them.
And just know you'll break up your friend.
Yikes.
Okay, next question. I didn't phrase this as a question, it just was a statement. Being a virgin in college. Stuff in regards to just being a virgin or just having sex in college. Sex culture.
Yeah.
Sex culture in college.
So, I do actually have a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Oh, surprise.
Me?
Stand
With an
thoughts.
opinion? This economy? Okay, so I was recently reading like a think piece on like sex positive culture and what that's done for like sex workers, and also in general just for women who can more openly embrace that they like do have like they like enjoy having sex or they like having sex and all of those things, and how that's led to like more education and like how to have safe sex. And I think all of those things are fantastic, extremely important, and really critical. But I also read this take, which I really agree with, that all of a sudden it started to place this somewhat undue pressure on women to like be super sexually open, and like that's seen as like this vision of being progressive. And I think that does place like an undue pressure on like college age and like even high school age women to like be sexually active, which is really unfortunate, because you shouldn't have to do things like that. Like you shouldn't have to have sex to be seen as progressive. Like you shouldn't have to, like I can encourage, like anyone can encourage their friends to like practice safe sexual behaviors and like be a part of like a community that's like really outspoken about sex, but that isn't like a prerequisite. Like me having sex isn't a prerequisite for me being supportive. But I understand where that sentiment comes from. Like you were talking about your like neos in your sorority and stuff, and how like that is a real pressure that they feel. And I get that, because it's not just boys pressuring girls to have sex, it's now more and more women to be seen as like cool and progressive are also like telling themselves that they have to meet this like deadline of like the end of senior year.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot of like sentiment of I'm behind everyone around me is having sex, or it seems like that because of that culture, because of like the way that we talk about it, that you kind of feel left out, and like even more like you have to rush yourself into things so you can just lose your virginity.
I think it's also strange because the opposite of having sex is like considered, oh, you must intentionally not be doing this because of religious reasons, which why is there no in between? Like
0 to 1.
like not that I don't think that's like a valid reason to not have sex. It's just that there are like literally infinite number of valid reasons to not have sex. And religion is like one of them.
I guess we can like stem off of that and just talk about just hookup culture, I guess, in college, and how that just plays out, and I guess experiences. So I guess I will go. I really hope my parents aren't watching.
That's what I was just thinking.
From talking about hookup culture and participating in hookup culture, not that I... Okay, yes I did. A lot of it, I think, kind of comes from this sense of being lonely, and you're kind of like trying to fill those needs and those like spaces where you need that like emotional closeness, and just replacing it with having sex with people that you met. I have this one friend, Sanjana, who she recently came to me with these like worrying that like, hey, I think I have a problem. I can't stop going on dates and like hooking up with these guys. I don't know why I don't feel any emotional attachment with them. I just feel like I'm addicted to like doing this. And we were talking through her issues and like why she felt this way, and we kind of came to the fact that she had moved to a new place. She didn't know anyone yet. She was feeling very lonely, and that she felt left behind by a lot of her friends who are still here in Atlanta. And she was trying to fill that void of like relationships and having friends by just going on dates and hooking up with guys.
I do think that for some people, it's definitely possible to like participate in hookup culture and not have it be for those reasons. Like for some people, they just genuinely enjoy the process and like fully throw themselves into that. And like, I think that's great. I just also think it's much more rare than we think.
Some people genuinely like enjoy it, you know, and like they're actually just like cool. It's casual. It's like not like they're defining themselves by that or anything like that. And for some people it works. I also though worry that for some people it doesn't really, and you kind of start like defining yourself based on like, oh, I like hooked up with these many people, or like things like that. I don't know, you know, or like, oh, this person showed interest in me. I think that's when it becomes problematic. I think if you truly are just like out here having a good time, like
More power to you.
More power to you.
Quick insert. Can we add like a panel here that says Sanja's insert?
If you're related to me,
that
stop.
sounds sexual. But anyway,
If you're related to me, stop listening.
if you're related to me or to her, stop watching. Stop it right now. Except maybe my sister. Question mark. We'll get to it. Anyway, so I brought this beautiful blue futon
From IKEA.
How dare you disrespect IKEA like that? Take that tone back. Freshman year, I leave for winter break. Emily stays behind. All of the freshman dorms are having like an alcohol clear out for the winter break. I don't know why, it doesn't go bad, but they did. She went out.
Emily was with her gentleman caller, if you will.
Gentleman caller?
And we all knew.
A prostitute?
No, I meant like in the olden days, the caller. Like when you go and wait on her, when you like go to their house, like in the 1800s.
Like courting?
And then like a couple weeks later, I was like, Em, have you noticed that our futon is like wobbly? And she was like, yeah. Look, I think it might have been that I possibly might have hooked up with someone on our futon. And I was like, what? So I took it back to my house. Yeah, I never told my parents that that's why it was wobbly.
Well, yeah.
So for a long
What would
time,
they do if you did?
yeah, like how do you have that conversation with your parents? So it was in fact in our prayer room for a really long time.
Those were all my questions. But is there like anything else you want to add about dating and love life in college before we end this?
I think one thing that's really important, and something I've seen not necessarily always go right because of this, is kind of finding that like sweet spot between like how much time do you spend like with the person you're dating and how much time do I spend with your friends. I feel like it's important to like make sure that the person you're dating can be like more like kind of like an add-on to your current life rather than just like replace everyone.
Yeah.
You know, you want to make sure they like get along with your friends, that like if you are hanging out with your friends, just like invite that person too.
Yeah.
It's important to make sure you don't lose the friendships you already have, I feel.
Yeah. Being on the end of like losing a friend to that, it really sucked because like you were so close to them, you loved hanging out with them, and just kind of like disappeared out of your life, and like it's like definitely like abandonment, like a lot of abandonment feelings in that.
I don't want to say necessarily that like our theoretical partner needs to like be best friends with all of our best friends. Like I understand it's somewhat unrealistic as an expectation, but these are people that like have been a huge part of our lives, right? Like it like strikes me as strange when boyfriends or girlfriends just like have no desire or like express no desire to get to know us, because then what are you like, if you're trying to be a part of someone's life, then like isn't this like arguably one of the biggest components of their lives?
Yeah.
Like this is like someone's chosen family, so like it's strange to me.
It's strange to me as well, because like also like I don't get like I feel like I would be super sad if like I never hung out with you guys.
Anything else to add before we end this video?
My sage advice, because as I said, the best coaches don't play. Honestly, do what you want and when you want to, but like think about why you're doing the things that you do. That was really abstract, but hopefully
be understanding that we're all very young. We may be in college, but we're literally like 18, 19, 21, 22, and we're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. And just, what really matters is how you pick yourself up and like bounce back from whatever happened, or like how you handle these things that really will define your experience with everything.
One thing is I feel like it's just really important. Don't ever like try to define yourself by a relationship. Like I think like it's like totally fine if you like don't date anyone until you're like, I don't know, like older, like 25, 30, whatever. Like I think just don't be in a rush. Like eventually someone will come along that you really connect with in that way, and it'll happen. Like don't feel like if you're not dating someone it's the end of the world or something like that.
Thanks for watching, guys. Tune in soon for the next video, whenever that will be. If you have any comments, let us know. DM us what your thoughts are.
Slide into our DM.
Yeah, slide into our DMs. If you
put
have
our social on there, thanks.
social,
We're trying to build our brand.
I'll just do it like right here, right now.
Ooh, that's good. I like it.
Yeah, if you have hate to send or critiques, let us know too.
Send me all the hate. I love hate mail.
Yeah, we love hate mail. We love constructive feedback.
We'll print it out and put it up on our wall.
Yes.
Tune in next time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
I'm crying.
Okay.
There's so much disrespect in this household.